Hello, everybody. Tim here, and I'm joined by
Maggie, hello.
my beautiful wife, my bride.
Stop. It's been a long time.
Well, we've been married for like 3 whole months, and 4 whole months. 4?
Almost 4.
Almost 4 whole months, and we are here to talk about something very magical and very special, which dropped today. You know, I'm gonna share a little story, Maggie. I was fast asleep in my bed this morning and was waiting for my alarm to go off, and I was awoken by a small little lady saying, Tam, you need to wake up. We have to watch something. And I knew, and then I kind of, well, we watched it, and of course we're talking about the Avengers Endgame trailer, which has dropped, and if you have not seen it yet, well, we're going to talk about it in detail, in length, here, right now. So, do you have anything you want to add before we get going, Maggie? No. Okay, so the trailer. First of all, why don't we get this out of the way? The title, Endgame. How do you feel about it?
I mean, we saw it coming.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I called this like, I don't know, a couple months ago. We were just like randomly talking about it, and I brought up the title, Endgame. I said it's going to be something pretty... I don't think it's a dumb title, but I just said it was going to be something like... The Russos have talked about how it's something we've already heard. Mm-hmm. So I was just going through all the things that would sound like a title they would go with, and Endgame was one of them. I mean, the other ones would be like Sweet Rabbit or Avengers for Sweet Rabbit, or
like, I don't know what else it would be. Like, I'm trying to think of what else they would call it.
I mean, a lot of people were calling it Infinity Gauntlet, which I guess would have been fine. But again, I obviously have not seen this movie, so I don't know if the Gauntlet played a very big role in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. It's just interesting considering originally it was just Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2.
Right.
So they obviously felt like the Infinity War portion of the movie was that first movie, and this is something different.
Yeah.
And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the tone of this trailer overall is different from the tone of the first movie, at least the first trailer.
I would say so.
It definitely, and again, full spoilers for Infinity War, because if you haven't seen that movie, what are you doing with your life? So I think that just the fact that the tones are separate makes sense because of the way Infinity War ends with the snap happening, and then so I think that I like the tone that's being presented in this trailer.
Yeah, I would agree.
So let's get into it. The beginning.
Yes.
Tony is on a ship being all sad.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I just don't get it. You keep saying that him and Nebula are on the same ship.
I think they are.
If that's the case, why are they stranded? Nebula's not stupid. She lives in space. Why are they?
Yeah, that's a good point. It does look, again, there wasn't a close up of the ship, but it does look like they're on the Milano. Mm-hmm. The shot of Tony sitting across from his helmet, it very much looks like the Milano.
Well, and that would have been the only ship on Titan that wasn't destroyed.
That's what I'm thinking, because you never actually see the Guardians land on Titan before they fight with.
They definitely do.
Doctor Strange, but that's what I know. They definitely do, but I don't. There might be a shot of the Milano on Titan,
I don't think there is.
If there is, the other thing too is Thanos did throw a moon at them, and the Milano might have been blah.
That's
and
true.
The only other thing was. I heard somebody say, "Oh, well, that might be Nebula's ship," but I'm pretty sure Nebula just drove one of those tiny little circular things, and she crashed right into Thanos. So, I think it's safe to say that they are both on the Milano. Now, the point that you made about she lives in space,
and she's been on that ship before. I don't understand how she would just let them run out of fuel, run out of food, and run out of air.
Well, that's the thing is as far as I can remember, there's nothing that happens in Infinity War to the Milano that would suggest that it cannot be it cannot operate properly. So I'm gonna assume there is something that happens,
right?
Or they're gonna say like the ship got really messed up in the fight, because we have to remember that Thanos messed up the gravity of the building a lot, or of the planet a lot, when he like messed up the moon and brought it down, and that whole final fight is on like a bunch of like moving pieces, and Spider-Man's whipping them all around. They're all on moving pieces of rock.
Yeah.
And especially after the snap happens and it's all lightning-y, for all we know, a lightning blast hits the ship and they don't have hyperspeed anymore, and now they can't travel very fast, and Titan is like so fucking far away from Earth, for all we know.
Yeah.
As far as the conversation Tony is having with his helmet, how does that make you feel? Sadness. Yeah, the quote I wrote down was part of the journey is the end.
I really like that quote.
And that's kind of the tagline they're using.
Yeah.
For all the people that were saying Infinity War was going to be the closing chapter, or was going to be the end, I think the title alone of this movie suggests that it's probably going to be this one. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because this trailer feels, at least for me, we got a lot more in this trailer than I thought we were going to, and obviously we'll get to the rest of it. But even this first part alone, I was imagining this trailer was going to open. It was going to be like, dun, 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 Thanos destroyed half the. Like it gets to that, but like it starts off with this very somber kind of goodbye, because Tony's just. It seems like he's accepted. He's gonna die.
It's very similar to the way it ended. It's just picking up right where it left off. To be completely honest, like with him, like that was like one of the saddest parts of the end of Infinity War is when he's sitting there and like with his hand like this, and he's like knowing that he like failed, and that was like his biggest nightmare for the past however many years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and so it's just like picking up from that, like especially stranded on like an alien planet. Like I don't think that once he got on that ship in Infinity War, like I don't think he planned on coming back, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say because I feel like in every situation Tony's been put up against, whether it's as something as small as like helping Spider-Man defeat the Vulture, or something as big as, you know, aliens in New York, or as big as sentient robots. He's always like found a way to figure it out,
I guess. But I feel like,
so I don't know if I would agree with like he gets on the ship and he thinks I'm not coming back. I think though, as soon as they're on Titan and shit starts going south, then yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's always like ready to sacrifice himself, because he definitely was ready to die in the first Avengers.
After that movie, yeah, maybe not the first two, but definitely the first two Iron Men, specifically, but definitely after the Avengers. What's the quote? Like Cap says to him, like, "You're not the one to make the sacrifice play."
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, definitely in every movie since Avengers, he always does.
Yeah.
Another thing that I found interesting, which I read online, I didn't think about myself, is this is not the first time, or Doctor Strange saying Endgame is not the first time that that word is used around Tony. Can you name the other time? No, because you don't like this movie, but I do. In Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah.
Tony says
about it.
He says that aliens came down from the sky, and the reason he built Ultron and the all the robots.
He's talking to Mark Ruffalo, and he's like, "That's the end game."
Yeah, he's like, "This is the end game."
Or actually, I think he's pointing at the Loki's spear.
Yeah, this is the end game. So I don't know, just a little interesting nugget. Don't have anything to do with each other, but I found it interesting. But as far as anything else with him talking to Miss Potts, do you think Pepper gets that message?
Honestly, I hope that he lives.
Yeah.
And like, if they're gonna bring, because we're saying that if he dies, Nebula's dying, because if they're on the same ship, and I don't see that happening.
No.
So something else is gonna happen. If he's dying, something else has to happen that lets her live, and he still dies.
I don't think Tony die. Let me rephrase. I think he will die in this movie. I don't think it will be
that situation.
In this situation. I would not be surprised if everything we see in this trailer is in the first 45 minutes of the movie.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
Would not be shocked in the slightest, because there was nothing like...
A lot of it was like setting up for something more.
We watched the first Infinity War teaser earlier this morning after we saw this, just to kind of get a gauge of how the two felt similar to each other. And maybe it's just hindsight, having seen Infinity War so many times now. There's a lot of third act stuff in that teaser.
Like the first shot is literally that shot of Tony, like being all sad.
And that's the end of the movie. And there's a lot of stuff from the third act of that. So, but I have a feeling, which we'll get to it, but the Cap and Black Widow, this plan it'll work, Steve. Yeah. Like that's got to be in the first act of the movie.
Or it's like in the middle. I feel like that's like the late of all the things. That's like the latest of the things.
Anywho, but yeah, I think that Cap and Tony are toast in this movie. Oh, really? I think they're both gone.
I don't know.
And the only reason I say that is because I think that as much as RDJ has loved being in these movies, I think he's kind of done.
Yeah.
And Chris Evans has been very public about being done.
Yeah.
So I think they're both toast. And I think that due to the success of Thor Ragnarok and how much people loved Thor in Infinity War, he's gonna be the face of this thing. Him and Peter and Black Panther, those three are gonna be the face of the franchise moving forward.
Yeah.
Again, that's just wild speculation, but I also thought that Cap was gonna bite it in Infinity War, and he was in that movie for a total of 7 minutes.
Well, we thought one of them was gonna die in Civil War, like.
Yeah, that was dumb of us. I don't know about that.
All right, moving on.
So anyway, I think Pepper gets the message. After he's already dead,
and she's like holding their child.
Oh yeah, that's I forgot about that. She's totally preggo.
Yeah.
They didn't just bring that up for no reason at the beginning of Infinity
Well, and
War.
Gwyneth Paltrow basically said it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that we talked about that Tony says they're out of supplies, almost out of oxygen. Is Nebula on the ship with him? I think so. Why would they split up at that point? I don't really see why. Also, random note. Tony, he got stabbed through the fucking chest in Infinity War. He's fine, I guess.
He's fine.
He just iced it.
He's fine.
A little bit, and he's totally fine. Okay. Next. Jesus Thanos.
Thank you. Okay.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yes, that's what I wrote down. That I know that it's like supposed to be a scarecrow, but like I feel like to me, whenever I see something that's like a cross, like it has to be some sort of like religious symbolism. But then we were just watching the Collider reaction, and Dennis said that it's like a shot straight out of the comic book. So obviously in the comic book, it could have been religious symbolism, or it could just be a scarecrow. We might be overthinking it.
We're probably overthinking it. We tend to overthink these things. Thanos armor comic book.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm looking it up.
Why?
Because I want to know. Yeah, I see nothing about it. But anywho, yeah, no, I think that's probably one of my favorite images from the whole trailer. It's just a pretty. We joke about Farmer Thanos. Oh yeah, look at that. There's his armor in a scarecrow. I'm gonna show it. Waha. There we go. Makes sense. Yeah, he's being a farmer, and I think that shot of him, that's the only shot we see of Thanos, which is something else interesting to talk about, that you only see him once in the trailer, but he's, walking and he's still got the gauntlet. The gauntlet is fucked.
Burned.
Basically. Yeah, it's like completely on his hand. So I think that the armor thing being off of him, he's just kind of relaxing, hanging out. What does that mean for him as a villain in this movie?
I don't know. I just feel like this isn't Infinity War was definitely his movie.
Sure.
And this is not going to be his movie. This is going to be the Avengers movie.
Is he the villain though?
Oh, yes.
So So
well, are you just saying that like they're fighting? I mean, like maybe he's not directly trying to stop them when they go back in time and try to reverse stuff, but like
we haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay, but like
go on.
But I also don't see how he could know unless they come for the time stone that's their plan.
There's no way they can get the time stone and not get like completely.
Right. So that's why he like could just be hanging out, and then like he is the villain when they go back in time and like try to do stuff if he's like there. That's true. But like I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot less.
Do you think Thanos is going to have more or less screen time in this movie than he did in the first one?
Less. A lot less.
Yeah, interesting. And that's funny to me because he's so popular. People loved him so much. I think.
But what are they going to do? Like, what is he doing? Like, he accomplished everything he wanted to do, and the only reason, like, I don't think he can think of a way other than the time stone that it could be reversed, and he has it, and they're not going to go for that. They
don't even know where he is. He snapped away.
Right,
they're
going to do something else. And, like, honestly, like, I don't know if this is, like, in the comic book where it's explained where, like, when he snaps, did he know that he was going to be one of the people that lived, or is it possible that he could have been one, like, I feel like he's done, like.
It's just when I picture, like, I guess when I pictured the end of Infinity War, I was imagining Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, them all together just beating up on Thanos.
Yeah.
What we got, I actually enjoyed a lot more. I enjoyed the team being divided, half of them in Wakanda fighting the faceless monsters, and the fight on Titan is my favorite part of the movie. All of the Titan stuff in the third act of Infinity War is my favorite part of the movie, bar none. And so I really loved seeing Tony and Star-Lord, most of the Guardians, Spider-Man just kind of beaten up on Thanos. Are we going to get something like that where they reverse time, everybody's back to life, and all of a sudden we have a giant beat up on current Thanos?
I don't.
Because I feel like if I don't get that,
you're gonna be sad.
I'm gonna be a little disappointed.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be trickier than that. It's gonna be a lot less like fighting because clearly
it'll be more of like a Dormammu ending.
Yeah, they clearly don't have the brute strength to beat him. So what's the point of trying again?
But do you think they could beat him if he didn't have the gauntlet?
Yeah, but how are you gonna make that happen?
I don't know.
Like,
come on, Russo brothers, give us the answers. We want these answers. Okay. Enough talk about our boy Thanos. You don't like Thanos?
Why would I like him?
Because he's cool.
I like Josh Brolin.
I like Josh Brolin too. The year of Brolin. Shuri, confirmation? She's dead.
Though we could say, obviously this is a stretch. They thought Ant-Man was dead. Clearly he's not.
True.
So, but
the only reason I think like it's more positive.
They knew where she was when it happened.
And they were there, and they probably I would be shocked.
She's not just hiding.
No, well, I was gonna I was gonna say I'm really gonna be shocked if this at least we don't see Wakanda in the opening scene of this movie. Not the opening scene, but in the
You think it's gonna pick up right where it left off with like Cap on the ground crying?
Yeah, 100%. And then he'll shave his beard and move on with his life. But I really want to. I mean, obviously, eventually they get back to Avengers mansion tower, not tower.
It's like the complex.
Whatever it's called. They obviously have to get back there. But yeah, no, I don't see that. Or I do see that happening. It being the opening, them being in Wakanda, because Okoye, she lived. And we didn't see her in this trailer.
And that other guy.
M'Baku. Right? Yeah, we didn't see him. So it will probably be more of a Wong situation where they're just kind of like, gotta help my people, peace. And then we probably won't see them for a bit. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It was just I like the confirmation that Shuri is bye-bye. Even though I love Shuri. She's like the best part of that movie. Well, Black Panther specifically. Thor is sad.
He's wearing a big puffy coat. It looks like he's like in like some type of like cell kind of.
It reminded me of the cells in Civil War.
It reminded me of a cell that Loki was in on Asgard.
Well, Asgard is dead. The foundation has been
destroyed. That's not. I'm just saying that it looked like he was in some kind of like So,
Yeah.
and he was like, it's interesting because clearly Cap and Widow are working together to try to fix this. Why is Thor
probably blames himself.
not so? So then try to fix it. Don't just wallow in self-pity. Come on, man.
So we haven't, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but Cap was literally in Infinity War for like 3.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it really threw me off guard when we saw it the first time. I got more and more used to it. And I love Thor's journey in Infinity War so much, and Tony's journey. It really is Thanos, Tony, and Thor's movie. It's those three characters. Those are the big players in Infinity War. It's very apparent by this trailer. We're going to get a lot of Cap, and it hypothetically a lot of Tony. Makes it see over half or about half the trailer is Tony. So I think Cap and Tony are going to be the big players here. Is Thor going to be one of the main characters of this movie? Like,
I don't see how he cannot be.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I know this is, like, grabbing at random stuff, but do you remember those pictures that we saw? That were leaked?
Yeah, from the New York, looking like it was from Avengers 1.
If it's that, like, Thor's gonna be there, and, like, he's gonna be involved. I don't...
But it was, like, but what we saw was, like, past Thor.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm talking like present day Thor. Is he gonna be sitting around wallowing in self-pity, or is he gonna be with Cap and be with Widow?
It doesn't appear like he is, but again, if you're assuming that this is the first 45 minutes of the movie, he could definitely change his mind.
I think that what should happen.
Oh, you're writing the story now.
Yep, is going to be Cap and Widow are doing their thing. And Rocket and Thor just go on a fucking bender.
Oh, that's true.
And they just get...
because we didn't see Rocket in this trailer.
And they just get wasted.
That sounds like something they would do together.
Asgardian wasted. Nebula, you see her on the ship.
Yeah, she, like, touches a coat, and they, like, say, like, friends over her. So I'm like, is she referring to, like, the Guardians as her friends? Because Gamora was clearly, like, families?
Or is she... I thought she might have been touching Tony, but I could be...
Oh, it just looked like a jacket, like on a table or something. I could be crazy.
It's not like they have any bodies.
No, I know, but let's say that, like, there's, like,
Gamora's jacket or something. Yeah, I guess could be. But I definitely think 100% she's there with Tony.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't see why she wouldn't be. Ronan.
Yeah.
His
family's dead.
Oh, Linda Cardellini, bye-bye. Sorry. Small Children, goodbye. Farm, Hawkeye Farm is no more. Yeah, he looks cool.
Yeah, I was wondering when he decided to just get that, like, weird, stylish haircut. Like how far after the decimation, like, is this? Like...
I'm sorry, what word was that?
Stop.
The decimation?
They're using it. It's a thing.
I know. She knew this before I did, so...
Like... His family died, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go get my hair cut. Really cool.
And mess people up in Japan.
Yeah, like, I feel like this must be... Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't show up until, like, the middle of the movie, to be completely honest.
I think he's gonna have a huge role to play.
Well, I think so, too, but, like, I'm just saying that I don't think that he's gonna be... I don't know. I'm just, like, really messed up. Like, just that one conversation between Cap and Widow when she's all like, this is going to work. And it's just, like, the two of them. Mm-hmm. Like, is it because they're alone? Or is it because the other characters that are involved in the plan are not around them at that moment? Because clearly Scott shows up and wants to help. And clearly Bruce is still there.
Yeah.
And, like, what is he doing with his life? And
I think he's going to
And, like, Thor was there, too. Like, they were all...
Rhodey.
There.
Rhodey was alive at the end. He's missing. Again, Rocket is missing.
Because I don't see those characters just, like, splitting up. Like, they're gonna... Like, their whole point is that they're gonna get together and try to fix it, even if they can't. I don't see them giving up and going their separate ways.
Do you think Vision will help?
Stop.
Oh, no Vision.
Well, and Scarlet Witch wasn't in... Oh, no, she left.
She died.
I forget.
She missed it away.
I forget.
Cap says this is the fight of our lives.
Okay, that's a random quote from the poem.
I don't think so at all. I think that they've had many fights. He's had many fights. He fought Nazis. He fought aliens. He fought robots. He fought government conspiracies and Robert Redford. He fought Tony. I think that Cap is a great leader, and he's gonna lead them in the fight of their lives. I think that's a big thing, the fight of their lives. Lots of people are gonna die. Lots of people died last time, but
I was gonna say people are already dead.
They're all gonna come back, and the deaths that happen in this one are gonna be permanent.
Yeah.
Speaking of deaths, who is actually dead and who's not actually dead?
What do you mean?
I think that everybody that missed it away.
Oh, that's not relevant to this conversation.
It 100% is.
We're not talking about theories about the movie.
It 100% is relevant. They're going to come back. Loki, he's toast.
Loki's toast. Though I do think he obviously is going to be in the movie.
Loki?
Mm-hmm. From those pictures.
He was not in those pictures.
Yes, he was.
I missed this then. Yeah, Idris Elba, toast. Loki, toast. Gamora, she might be in the Soul Stone.
The real question is, will Thanos survive this movie, I guess?
No.
You don't think so?
No. No, I think Thor's going to kill him.
Oh, you think Thor is? Well, because I think if they...
How satisfying would that be? Either Tony or Thor.
Oh, I was thinking Gamora.
If she comes back.
Right.
Or Nebula.
Yeah, there's lots of people that could kill him.
I think the two most satisfying would be either Thor or Nebula. Now that I'm thinking about Nebula, that would be really satisfying. It's been her like dream job since for a while. So, you mentioned the heartbeat in the trailer.
I did, yeah. I don't know. It's just like you hear it. It's while Tony's talking. It's there, like doing that, and then it gets really loud when they show the Marvel logo, and then you hear it again when Cap and Widow are having that conversation where it looks like they're on like one of those jets or whatever.
Yeah.
And you hear it again. I don't know. I was just there. I don't know if it was like a music thing or if it's like a relevant thing. I don't know. Like, I think it's just like attention.
One last thing before we get to the end of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any theories about this plan of theirs?
Well, so we haven't talked about Captain Marvel because we don't know anything about her, but she has to be relevant or they wouldn't be putting this movie out right before they put a month before they put out this movie.
Yeah.
So
well, and she was the post-credit scene. She was the only post-credit scene in Infinity War.
Like, so she's clearly that, like, I would like to say that time travel is the easy answer, but I really can't think of a way that they could time travel without the time stone.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, other, like, alien help, and I don't know how they would necessarily get that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Wong is not confirmed, and so like whether or not there's like magic involved is very up in the air because Doctor Strange is dead, and obviously they don't have the time stone. Clearly, I think the quantum realm might play a role. I was about to say you mentioned that earlier. Scott just casually got out of it somehow. Yeah, and I feel
does that upset you that they have that in the trailer? That they have Scott in the trailer?
Honestly, it made me kind of pumped because I know like the beginning is really sad. Like, Tony's like ready to die. He's saying like his last words to the love of his life, and Cap is like crying. He's so sad that he shaved his beard.
And
like,
and Scott has the one joke of the trailer,
right. And it's like right at the end, and and it like gets you like motivated. Like clearly he has. I don't know if he's just showing up because he wants to like show up, but I think he's motivated and he has an idea.
I think Luis got him out of the quantum realm.
But Luis would be there with him, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a joke. But hey, Scotty, I'll get you out of the realm. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, it could or it could not. Like, I'm not entirely sure how it would play a role without like Hank Pym helping them out, because I feel like Scott doesn't know enough about it to like make it like be a thing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. I didn't think of that.
Bruce could make it a thing because Bruce is like a smart person.
Bruce is very smart.
Yeah,
he's a smart person.
But then otherwise, like, Captain Marvel is gonna play a role, and we don't know what that is yet. And I mean,
there's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
One last thing, the logo.
Yeah.
I like how it's all destroyed, and it slowly starts to come back together as it says Endgame. And I think that's going to be a big point. I think we are going to see the Avengers reassemble. We haven't seen them really assemble in its original form since Ultron.
Yeah, that's true.
At least the original 6, and considering all of the original 6 are alive, I think that says a lot. Do you think? Oh, okay. So, before the halfway point of the movie, or after the halfway point of the movie, Tony and Cap see each other again for the first time since Civil War.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't see each other again.
Really? I think that would be highly unsatisfying. I think they have to see each other again. I think the 6 of oh my God. Here we go. Think about how amazing it would be in the theater if they recreated the circle shot of the 6 of them.
That'd be dope as fuck.
Like, imagine. Like, we got the Ultron, like the big fighting one, but that had Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in it and Vision. But just imagine if they recreated that circle shot of the 6 of them. I think that'd be crazy. And that just came to me.
So what would they be fighting on? They would need to be in a circle.
More face. What is it? Face
you
dogs?
Really think? I don't think they're going to be like... I don't think that there's going to be a big battle like that, though. I really don't in this movie. I feel like it's going to be a lot more like...
The movie is going to be long as hell, too. The Russos have talked about how right now it's longer than Infinity War. And Infinity War is the longest Marvel movie at 2 hours and 29 minutes.
God, that's so long.
How long is too long?
2 hours and 29 minutes.
Is too long.
Yes.
I think that this movie... bold prediction. Avengers Infinity War will clock in.
It's not Infinity War, it's Endgame.
Avengers Endgame will clock in at 2 hours and 48 minutes. Hear it now. Hear it here first.
God, that'd be
it's gonna be 20 minutes longer than Infinity War.
Here's my problem with that. Disney's not stupid, and they know that you can only play movies so many times in the theaters, and if it's 2 hours and 48 minutes long and the trailers are 20 minutes long, that means you only get like 3 shows a day.
I would I would just like to make a minor point.
I'm just saying.
I just want to make a minor point.
Are you going to tell me how long Last Jedi was?
Last Jedi was 2 minutes longer than Infinity War. It's 151 minutes. I would just like to make a point of a movie that it clocks in at 2 hours and 45 minutes, released on July 20th, 2012. Opening weekend made $160 million. The Dark Knight Rises. Now, that movie, compared to Infinity War, is poo-poo. But I think that if the brand is big enough and the hype is real enough,
and the cut is good enough.
And the cut is... What are you talking about?
I'm just saying that, like, don't have filler in it just because, like...
No. Well, but that's the thing, though. Infinity War, there's no filler in that movie.
Well, a lot of people would didisagree with you.
Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't.
Well, okay, so that's my point. So I don't think Infinity War has any filler. I think that I think Endgame it's going to be the longest Marvel movie. I think it's going to be anywhere between 245. I would be shocked if this movie was shorter than 245. I would be shocked. And I think that most people won't even know that before going into the theater. I think the average moviegoer who is pumped to see the next Avengers movie is just going to go and see it.
Yeah.
They're not going to worry about it. And the theaters, again, you are right. You're 100% right. Theaters, we've both worked in them. I still do. You can only get so many showtimes. If a movie's 3 hours long, it's really hard to play it multiple times a day. But that being said, it's going to be on so many screens.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be on so many screens. And I think that the theaters are going to open earlier and they're going to stay open later like they did for Infinity War. And it's going to be, if not the biggest movie of all time, it's going to be, this movie is going to be close. The hype is kind of almost too big for this one.
Yeah. We'll see. Nothing like this has ever... We have nothing to go off of.
We don't.
Because...
Well, and the other thing is, like, I never thought... That's not true. I was very, very skeptical and it was hard for me to believe that Infinity War beat the Force Awakens opening weekend record, which I believe it did. And the opening weekend for Star Wars was, I believe,
I don't know. I really I don't see it doing as well as Infinity War, just because sequels like this, where they're more direct. I don't know. They just tend to do less.
So here's
the way that Last Jedi did less to Force Awakens. You know?
Yeah, Force Awakens opening weekend made 247, which is just an insane number. And then Avengers Infinity War opened to 257. So now Force Awakens obviously went on to gross more,
right.
But I think Infinity War crossed 2 billion. It did 2.0 billion. So I think another bold prediction. It's not going to beat that 257. Mm-hmm. I'd say it makes 230. Mm-hmm. It's going to be close, but I think that Last Jedi made 205.
I just think it's going to be less than Infinity War is all.
Opening weekend, but do you think will it gross more worldwide?
It depends on
if it's good.
Yeah, it does, and whether and how fans react to it. Because the reason Last Jedi didn't end up grossing more is because it got bad reviews
by fans,
and fans didn't like it.
It got good reviews by the critics, but
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the other thing too. Is the reason the movie has to be excellent, because Infinity War, I think, only has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So critics thought it was good, but it's a fans movie. Let's be real. There are, honestly, if I wasn't a fan of these movies, there are a lot of things that I could poke holes at in Infinity War, but I just love it so much that
Scott.
What?
Scott.
What do you mean? What about Scott?
He doesn't like the movie because he's not.
Oh, your uncle Scott. I think meant Scott Lang. I'm what are you talking about?
No.
Some guy asked if we were brother and sister.
Yeah, that happened a long time ago.
Oh, well, I missed that. We're married. Anyway, so
we're not brother and
sister. But anyway, I'm very excited for Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
Still don't love the title, but it's all right. Yeah, it's fine. As far as the rest of this week, we get a Spider-Man trailer tomorrow.
Yeah.
What the hell is that going to be about?
I'm still debating whether or not I really want to watch it.
I'm going to watch it and I'll let you know. I'll probably do another something like this if it's good. But who the hell knows what that's going to be about? Maybe it'll just be Jake Gyllenhaal on screen for 2.5 minutes being Mysterio, and then all of a sudden at the end it's Spider-Man Far From Home. Or maybe Spider-Man after the snap is in another dimension, and then he's fighting Mysterio in another dimension, and that's why he's far from home.
Down. We're not talking about Spider-Man right now.
Avengers Endgame. What did you guys think about the trailer? Be sure to comment below and hit that like button and hit subscribe. It helps me out a great deal, and it helps us motivate to do this more. Yeah? We've got another video coming up soon you are going to be in this that I'm currently working on, that Maggie is going to be forced to participate in. It's going to be about the most overrated films of 2018, and one film on that list is an MCU film. And it's not Infinity War, and it's not Ant-Man and the Wasp. So guess which overrated movie that is. It's also another Marvel movie that came out this year, and a little horror film. So try to figure those out. But that video will be coming relatively soon. Hopefully before the new year. Hopefully before Christmas.
I'm good. 2 weeks from now, I am free.
From school and the clutches of evil.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, thank you as always for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of Endgame. We will see you for sure when another Endgame trailer comes out. But until next time, have a good one.